make sure you understand what being stuck is, okay? A lot of times we think about being stuck as something got me, something holding on to me, and it's holding me back. And you're right, there are situations like that. But there are also situations where you choose to be stuck by that situation. It's not requiring you to be stuck. You choose because you feel the situation needs you. It has to have you. It needs your full undivided attention at all times. So we choose to stay behind when we should be progressing because we want this to be fixed before we move on. Now, I know that's sometimes kind of hard to wrap our head around. But see, sometimes there are things that need to be fixed that you're not the expert at fixing. Amen. But it doesn't mean that you need to stop your life before it gets fixed. If your refrigerator broke today, that would put you in a bind, right? You say, oh man, my fridge broke. I got a bunch of food in there. Do you know how to fix a refrigerator? I don't. Now, you'll look at it. You know how we always will open it up and hoping something obvious, right? if it ain't just screaming at you, I don't know. And then you'll get in there and you'll hit something. Maybe that'll do something that it don't do nothing. And you just stare at it like, dog. Now, that's going to really impede your life. But does that mean you're not going to eat today? Does it mean that you're going to lose all that food? No, because you see it. So what you do? You can go buy a cooler. You go get them coolers out. You go to a friend's house. You're going to find a way to save that food, right? Some of it you'll let go. They don't use this anyway. We'll let it. But the essentials, the good stuff, you're going to find somewhere to put that food in order to keep it. Until what? Somebody comes and fixes it. So you keep things going in motion until it gets fixed. But if you just sit there and wait and look at all your food spoil and go hungry because you can't fix it and it's taking too long to get fixed and I can't wait till the repairman get here so that he can fix it so I can eat again. But we do that in our life so many times. We will stop and say we waiting on the Lord, but we won't move. We won't do nothing. We won't make provisions. We won't grow. We just stop. Oh, he coming. I'm so hungry. I hope he get here. I don't know what I'm going to do. He's like, what's wrong with you? All these other provisions. You're worried. That's what we're going to talk about today. Let's go to Psalms 33. Psalms 33, verses 20 and 21. It says, we wait in hope for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. In him our hearts rejoice, for we trust in his holy name. He is our help and our shield, right? In him our hearts rejoice because we trust his holy name. But notice it started out, we wait on the Lord. So there's obviously something that's going on here that they're waiting on. But in the midst of waiting, they're rejoicing. So there's something that comes with this. Basically what has happened when we talk about trust, trust comes from a good word called assurance. Assurance. What is assurance? In the dictionary, assurance is defined as reliance on the character, ability, strength, or truth of something. So I'm reliant upon the character, strength, or truth of this individual. And if I'm relying on that, I'm assured that they're going to come through for me. And being assured means that I can let that go because I'm positive that they don't handle it. I don't have to worry about it. I can walk away. In that same situation where your fridge has been broken, and you sitting there and your fridge is broken, and you at the house, and the guy say, I'll be there Tuesday, and we busy, so maybe I might can't get you to Wednesday or Thursday. It might be Friday. You said, no, refrigerator, man, I gotta, your fridge and your AC gets real important. You don't know you're relying on it so much till it's gone. And you sit there like, no, okay, well, come when you can. And they say, okay, I'll call you before I get there. And all of a sudden on Tuesday, they just show up and say, hey, man, I was working down the street and I knew you was on my route. I know I had you on Friday, but if you available, yo, come on in. You'll be so happy to see that refrigerator repair, man. Why? Because you know, if he say he repaired, you don't know him. You don't know nothing about that man. But he says that he repairs refrigerators. And his company says he repairs refrigerators. So you excited, let him in your house. Please fix that refrigerator. And guess what? You ain't worried no more. He ain't even fixed it yet. But all of a sudden you start thinking, oh, go to the grocery store. I got to refill my refrigerator. He ain't even told you what was wrong. He ain't told you he can fix it. Ain't told you nothing. But all that pressure goes off. Why? Because he's there. The person who you trust that can fix it is there. And now that they're there, you can, I'm so glad you're here. What's like a word, right? But at that moment, you free. That's what God wants us to do with him. We have to actively wait. Actively wait. You say, well, how do you actively wait? You actively wait by letting go and letting him do what he says he is going to do. What he has assured you that he will do and will come through on completely and wholly at all times. And you have to trust. So trusting is hard. So it's defined as if you give, well, I'm going to back up. When we say waiting on the Lord, a lot of times we think it's passive, okay? We think he takes it passively and that we take it passively. Now, what do I mean by that? Lord, I need you to come through. We think, let me go. And we think that we're supposed to do the same thing. Okay. Whenever you ready, I'm ready. He's like, okay. Whenever you learn your lesson, he said, I think I learned my lesson. Okay. No action. That's the mental piece when we think of waiting. Because the only time we think of waiting in a line. And when you're waiting in a line, you're looking for whatever can take your mind off the line, right? Your phone, looking around. That's how they get you with all the little snacks and all the little stuff you definitely don't need through that little waiting line. You know, all the little junk is up there. And 50 cents here and $1 there, and they add up, right? Because you wait, you're just looking for something to do. That's not the way that we wait on the Lord. It's not passive. When we ask him for something, he starts working on the solution. Amen. And he expects you to start making provisions for him to work the solution. Sometimes when you call somebody to come repair stuff, they give you things to do. You got things that you need to do. So when they get there, they got things they can do. But what they doing? They getting your parts ready. What do you think it is? They diagnosing. They're working. The solution is just not there yet. So action is happening, and you have to trust and be assured that it's happening. It's not passive. So when we wait actively, we have to be confident in God. We have to be confident in his abilities. We have to be confident in his love. We have to be confident in his word and his promises. Because if we're not, we can lose out. Unfortunately, we trust people more sometimes than we trust God. We trust people beyond their ability. We trust people and give expectations higher than their capabilities. We put stuff on people that they can't even esteem to. And we just sit there and we surprised when things happen with them, right? Somebody disappoint you, oh, they would never. You see it on the news all the time. I know he's not that type of guy. I know that. And they just know that this person didn't do that because they were trusting in their character that they knew. But that person ended up being guilty. And you're like, ooh. Y'all have had people hurt you before. You've had people surprise you and not come through. You've had people disappoint you in such a way that you never thought they would do that. You just thought they would never hurt me this way. Think about how many people don't walk down the aisle and marry somebody only to be years later hurt by them. And in that moment, if they even had an inkling that that person had the ability to hurt them in the way that they did, they would have never done and made that commitment. Is that true? True. It happens all the time. Yes. But regardless of what you think, people are people are people. I don't care what office they hold. I don't care how much money they got. I don't care how well you know them. I don't care how long you've been knowing them. I don't care how much you've been seeing. They're still people. And sometimes the world, temptation, themselves, other people get the best of people. And they fail. And they fail you, and they fail themselves. And we feel guilty. They feel guilty. Hurt happens. Disappointment happens. It happens. That's why we have the word sorry. It doesn't mess up. So there would be no reason to say, I'm sorry. Never. So the word I'm sorry is used quite a lot because people mess up a lot, right? And the word I'm sorry is one of the hardest words to say because it affects so much, even when it's small. Y'all understand? It's crazy how this works because we know God, we say we trust God, but then we don't trust him more than we do our best friend. We sit there and we give something to God, and then we go get all in the mix because we really don't trust that he going to get it done when we need it. But when we ask our friend to do something, oh, they got it, ain't worry about it. Kenny told me a while ago that he's going to handle some yard work for me. It's been a few months, ain't it? I ain't thought about it. Because I told him, I said, whatever. But I'm not saying, I hope he come through. I hope he do this. I hope he ain't holding me up. Because I know he got it. Now, here's the thing. I had a guy come to my house who was supposed to do some yard work. Told me what he was going to do. And he was doing my neighbor's yard. And I said, okay, cool, let's do it. And he said, okay, when I come do her yard on Saturday, I'm going to get you straight. And I said, okay, cool. He was out there on Saturday all day. I looked over there, he was working. Whole crew working. Got a little late. I said, man, he going to be a little dog. I don't know how he going to get to me, but hey, he said he was going to do it. I go out there, they gone. My yard still look the same. I said, well, maybe, I don't know him, right? Maybe he'll come back tomorrow. I ain't seen the guy since. So what I do? Kenny come over, I call somebody I trust. He gave me everything. He was going to do all the little tree stuff, I don't know all that stuff, but you do it this way. So I told Kenny, man, he told me do it this, and Kenny said, oh, I got it. Next day, Kenny got it. And I ain't think about it no more. So with this guy, I'm out there hoping, man, I hope he get to me. I hope he don't forget about me. He forgot about me. I told Kenny that I'm good. He got it. I ain't even worried about it no more. That's the trust I have in it, right? But there are people, he can disappoint me. He's a person. But I know he would come back and say, I'm sorry. My parents could disappoint me. My wife could disappoint me. My kids could disappoint me, right? Everybody around you who close can disappoint you. But God will never disappoint you. He's going to always come through. The only person who can disappoint you in your relationship with God is you, because you had the wrong expectations of what God was going to do. So we have to trust in God. And when you're confident in that he knows what he's doing and that he's going to do it, what can you do? Let it go. I can let it go and focus elsewhere. Because see, people will hold on to you either with their problems, you trying to fix them, or them trying to fix you. That's usually how it works, right? They calling you, reminding you of stuff you trying to forget about, or you trying to help them through something that you really are not, skilled to do. But it'll get us stuck because we steady trying to tinker, and steady trying to help, and steady trying to fix, especially when they're close to us. But waiting and not stopping. So how do we confidently wait? Let's go to Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11. So we know that just because you wait doesn't mean you are going to stop, right? But it also doesn't mean you're going to get what you think you're going to get. Maybe repackaged, maybe something a little bit different. Hebrews 11, 13 through 16 says, all these people were still living. And if you know Hebrews 11, it talks about faith, and then it gives you a list of people. It talks about Enoch, it talks about Abram, it talks about Moses, right? And the things they did. And Paul says, or the writer of Hebrews says, all these people were still living by faith when they died. When they died. This is very key. They did not receive the things promised. Now, a lot of times you think, oh, God didn't come through. Does anybody in here know when they're going to die? Of course we don't. So you're going to believe God for something. And you may not get it before you leave here. But your life is a life of asking God and going through God, right? But some of the things, you may get out of here before it comes to pass. That's just the way it is. Doesn't mean you stop believing. Doesn't mean God will come to you and like, you may not want to ask me about that. And you say, why? Just wait about another week. And you say, oh, Lord, I'm going to die in a week, right? He ain't going to tell you that, right? You're going to keep believing and keep going forward with him throughout the extent of your life. And you have to have that faith, and you have to present that faith and give it to him at all times. All right, so it said all these people were still living by faith when they died. They did not receive the things promised. They only saw them and welcomed them from a distance, admitting that they were foreigners and strangers on earth. People who say such things show that they are looking for a country of their own. If they had been thinking of the country they had left, they would have had an opportunity to return. Instead, they were longing for a better country, a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared a city for them. Now, this is saying something very, very key. I want you to understand this part. When you realize what you are and who you are, your life starts to be what it's supposed to be when it's supposed to be that. But when you are living your life according to what the world says you are, you're going to continuously be in a cycle that the world continues to keep us in. We just there. So this is speaking of, they realized they were a part of something, a kingdom. Now, you all have a kingdom. We have our own kingdom. What's your kingdom? Kingdom is surrounded by things that you influence, that you can manipulate, that you can drive to do what you want it to do. Your kingdom includes your family, your relationships, your job, your home, things that you own, things that you have a lot of influence over, right? So your job, you have influence over that. You know, I just got to do this job. No. If you want to work nights, you choose a job that lets you work nights. Even if it takes you a while to get there, that's what you want. If you want a job that fits this part of your lifestyle, you choose a job to fit that part of your lifestyle. All of us are in a situation where we know, you know, if you offer me this much money, that's too low for me. You know, I need to be right here. All of us got a price in our head of what we think we're worth. So you know if somebody coming too low, oh no sir, right? So you going for what you're worth. So you go and you have influence over your job. And if they came in and said, we're going to start paying you down here, well, I will start looking for somewhere else that's going to pay me better, right? That's the way we do. That's our kingdom. We have influence over our kingdom. But the thing about our kingdom, when things are going smooth, when things are going right, everybody's happy, everybody's good, we in control of the kingdom. The kingdom is all right. I got this. Kingdom is looking good. Everybody fed, everybody happy, everything working. But when the kingdom has problems, it seems like everything starts falling apart at the same time. I don't know, you know, if you're in the home ownership, always something needs to be fixed. It's always something. And sometimes when that big thing happens, it seems like a bunch of little stuff start happening, and then you call somebody to fix one thing, and they're, hey, you know, we got in there, and what we saw was, oh, man, nah, it's something else. I thought it was just that. Now it's just snowballing because there's so many things. And the problem is, you know how to clean your house. You know how to cook in your house. You know how to decorate your house. You know how to keep your house running. But you don't know how to fix your house. When something going on behind them walls, it's your house, but you don't know how to fix it. So what you got to do, you got to call somebody to come fix your house. Why? So you can go back to living in your house. So we in control until we not in control. That's how our life is with God. But the problem is we'll be going and going and going, and the problem keep getting worse and worse and worse. It's kind of like when you driving a car and you hear that noise, but the car's still going, so you just turn the radio up and just keep on riding, right? Then all of a sudden it get worse and worse, and then one day it don't start, and you make them good words. I don't know why this car won't start. Now, the car been telling you for the last 2 weeks, I'm getting ready to not start. Even on the third day, you got ready to crank. You say, yin. Oh, good. You good. You ain't thought no more about it. For the last week, it's been going, yin. I'm about to break. Yin. I'm about to break on you. Then you pull it into the shop. I don't know what's wrong with this car. Was it making enough? Well, if you would have brought it here, it probably was just a washer. Probably won't cost you $15. Now it's going to cost you, oh, man. You see? That's how we do our life. We get it to a point to where a lot is happening. And then we go to God. God, fix it. Okay, he fixed it. Okay, now give it back to me so I can mess it up again. It's like if you ever been around somebody trying to drive with a trailer, and they get to the part and they say, I'm going to back this trailer up down this driveway. Seems easy. They've been going straight the whole way there. Riding, turning, lefts, rights, getting a little turnaround, just going straight. And then they get to the part where they got to back it up. And they pull in, and it's straight. And they say, all I'm going to do is go straight. And it started doing this, and they turning this way, and the trailer going that way. And they turn this way. Next thing you know, they get it caught. And they can't get it unstuck. So what they do? They get out the car, and they say, Daddy, can you fix this? And Daddy get in, and he fix it. And then he say, cool, now I can go straight again. I need to get out of these situations, but I don't want to give up the wheel. I want to be in control, but I always want you there to fix my mess. You see what I'm saying? So when God is always there, and we thinking we always in the driver's seat, then we throw him the mess to fix it, then we get back in the driver's seat and mess it up again. And then we get stuck. And then we got to sit there with that trailer and wait on Daddy to get there to come fix it, because we can't do nothing. But here's the thing. I want you to think about this, because this is a true story. So when I was driving that trailer and I had it all messed up, what I was supposed to do is back this trailer up and unload. We had mailboxes, right? Unload these mailboxes and put them in the garage part that we had. That's all I had to do. But I messed up with backing up the trailer. Now, the garage was right here, and I was trying to back that trailer up right there so I could get them, put them off. But I got messed up back here. And I had to wait on him. He said, I'm on the way. I'll fix it. Okay. Now, when he get there, the trailer's still full of mailboxes. The door right there. And he like, why you ain't unload it? Oh, because I couldn't back up the trailer. I'm sitting in the car listening to the radio, waiting on him to fix the trailer so I can get to work. But I could have been working the whole time so that he could have just went on and I could have still did my job. It was nothing preventing me from that job except a few more feet, a little bit more work. Then we got there and fixed it. We could have loaded up, been back out. But now, by me waiting, he got the fix coming. He coming. He said, I'm coming. I'm on my way. And when he got there, he fixed it. But when he got out, it was a lesson in it for me, right? Here's what you do. Here's why you do it. Here's it. And guess what? The lesson for me rolled on to my kids. But that's the thing. You can still be doing something with your life. But you sitting there, waiting on the Lord. But you can be doing something. Who told you to pause? Who told you to stop? Look at how much you could do with what he gave you. But you want to bury yours. You got some talents. You think them guys didn't run into a little issue when the man gave them talents? Yeah. But I'm just going to wait on mine because I know you are a hard man. No, sir. That ain't how it works. We have to change our mindset. Let's go to Romans 12:2. Romans 12:2. It says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is and his good, pleasing, perfect will. See, when our kingdoms get invaded with stress, with heartache, with rebellion, with tense times, then we lose control and we feel stuck in the situation. And then our mindset tells us to just wait it out. Wait on the Lord. That's what the word gonna tell you to do. Yeah. But he tells you we need to renew our minds from the pattern of the world. When we try to touch everything, we have to realize we're not in control of this kingdom.
That's it.
Okay? We gave the control of the kingdom to God. And he gives us and delegates to us what we need to do. And when we operate the way that he wants us to operate, everybody is happy, including you. I want to read a different version from the New Living Translation of Romans 12:2. Listen to this. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. So don't just keep doing the same thing the world does. Recognize that God has something special for you, something unique for you, that he do. A way that may not meet your expectations, a way that may not be what your friend has been suggesting and advising you to do, a way that the world and all those books and all those articles that you read may not know. I want y'all just to realize this is a world where everybody has a voice. And the unfortunate thing is, we all listen to that voice. I could get up here now and start talking about baking pies. Just right now. Just start about giving you ingredients for a sweet potato pie. And for a minute, y'all going to sit there and be like, okay, where is he going with this? Right? And if I'm going nowhere, y'all going to be like, but how much attention are you going to give me? A lot. Just because I got a microphone and my voice is projected. And think about how many voices are being projected into your life. How many articles that we read. You know, I thought about this the other day. When I want to do a recipe or cook something different, I'll type it in, Google it, right? And then I'll read it and say, oh, I found the recipe. Here we go. And after you start cooking for a while, you know what works with what. And I've read a couple where I'm like, who is this person? And that does not go together. And you'll see the little rating beside some of the recipes. And man, this was low. And I said, I know it is. But I said, I'm just trusting since she published this recipe that she knew what she was talking about. This person could have been whoever just typing and just put something out there. And all of a sudden, we're like, oh, it's out here. Must be worth following. And I'm going to go invest some money because anytime you go to cook, that's money shaking and cooking and to mess something up based upon the trust that I gave in a random stranger that sat down and typed something. But people tweeting, Facebooking, Instagramming all day long. Information out there. And we listen to it. Strangers' opinions, what they think. A lot of what we hear on the news is what people think. They don't give us news. They give us their interpretation of the news. And we figure since they're sitting there looking good with a suit and tie, that they must know what they're talking about. And then after a while you listen, this person is crazy. Right? That don't even make no sense. But you just sit there and listen and listen. And don't let them have a talk show and 5 of them be sitting around there just talking and talking and talking. I told Adrian, why are people listening to that? They ain't even talking about nothing, right? But we just listen. A lot of people have influence on you today. You have to guard yourself. And that is what Romans 12:2 is talking about. Guard yourself from the mental piece. Because they're going to want you to follow what they want. Why? So they can sell you what they can sell you. And sometimes all they want to sell you is themselves. Follow me. Look at me. Dress like me. Do like me. Why? Because I'm out here. That's the only thing you got to show me is I'm out here. And I'm supposed to follow you? Yes. But we're supposed to follow God. Because you following this person and then stuff starts falling apart. Because you ain't got the money they got to keep it up. You didn't know that what they were showing you wasn't even real anyway. You didn't realize that the problems they had are way worse than yours. Person been giving marriage advice on TV for I don't know how long. Then they ain't with their wife no more. You're like, hold on now. I've been following you and you ain't even doing it. And now my life falling apart. Now I don't know who to call. It happens. But we'll bypass God and listen to a stranger. And God been telling you the whole time, here's what you do, here's what you do, here's what you do. And you go, but he say, who is he? Right? Then you look at his past and say, oh my goodness, what have I been listening to? But that's the problem of the world. So what do? We're going to wrap up stuck. We get stuck in life. We've identified ways that we get stuck. We get stuck on substances. We get stuck in with people. We get stuck by choice because we'll sit there and hang out with it. We'll get just stuck based up on just the way life goes. Life gets a little sticky, right? But then when the fix comes, we have a hard time trusting. But we know that God has assured us that we can trust and be confident in his abilities, in his trust, and in his character. Okay? We can be confident in that. I want you to turn to James 1. We're going to go there in a minute. But we have to think about being perfect. The perfect you. In James 1, verse 2, consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds. And we've hit on this verse quite a few during this lesson. Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. People, you are the perfect work. When you allow God to move in your life and you persevere, meaning you do what you're supposed to do, knowing that they will be there, it creates a great relationship, a perfect relationship with them. So had I taken the time to unload that trailer, move it all in there, knowing my dad would be there, think about how much could have got accomplished in that day. We could have finished another job, could have did a little bit more, made a little bit more money. But instead, my actions caused delays in the process. Okay? So, when we're moving and God comes, not only does he gain trust in our abilities, okay, you own it. Let me give you more, right? But we gain trust in his abilities because we know if we go ahead and do what we need to do, this problem and situation going to get fixed a whole lot easier. I've been laying the groundwork and the foundation for God to come in and work the way he needs to work. See, me, I caused extra work. Now, when he get there, he got to help me not only get the trailer, but also unload the boxes. Now, think about it. The whole job was my job. Back up the trailer, unload the boxes. That's it. That was the whole job. But when he gets there, he got to back up the trailer, and we got to unload the boxes. I caused more work for him. How much extra work do you cause God when it's within your abilities? Why he got to be the one to save your kids when you ain't been the one talking to them? You can't lay no groundwork. You can't help the situation. He got to come in and swoop in and rescue them from death. You could have been helping them along the way to where they at least recognize and know God. You can't save nobody, but you can at least help them understand what salvation is, right? Why he got to come in and paint the whole picture? You could have done something. You could have stood up the easel. You could have put up the artwork. You could have had his paint ready so that when he get there, he can get to doing something, making something masterful happen. But you just sitting there looking with the other people. When he get there, he don't even know who you are. Hey, who called me? Which one of y'all called me? Oh, it was me. Well, what did you do? Called you. What else did you do? Called you again. What else? Kept on calling and begging and crying. Did you do anything? Called you. Really? That's all you did was dusty up some knees? We more than knees. We can do a lot more with our life other than pray. Get up. Once you pray, get up and trust. But we get up and we want to get right back down. Did you hear me? Yes, I heard you. But now you got to go do something because I'm busy working on what you asked me to do. But I got to keep coming back answering the phone because you keep calling me and won't let me do what I need to do. Now I'm frustrated because I'm like, so you don't trust that I'm going to do it? Why you keep on calling me? Kenny, you going to come get this tree? Kenny, you going to come get this tree? Kenny, you going to come get this tree? Man, I'm getting a tree right now. And don't call me no more. Right? Didn't I tell you I was coming to get it? Well, why you keep calling me? Now you trust me. And if you trust me, then you believe in me. And guess what? When I trust somebody, I'm good. Let me go over here and do something else. Let me get the process going. You are the perfect work. Stop, people, please. Stop letting whatever it is beat you. Stop letting things be victorious over you. Stop letting people influence you and defeat you. Stop letting the world burden you. All the things that you can let go, let it go. And trust that God got it. Why would I leave something for him and then take it with me? I left it. Let him have it. I don't even care if it's people. Trust me, when you leave them and God fix them, they'll find you. They'll get there. Not many times I left my kids. They always find me. I'm the worst chaperone. Y'all can play here you want. You miss this bus. Got to get on the bus. It made my kids. Y'all better come on. Where my kid? Should have told your kid to keep up. I ain't gonna get left out here with your kid. You better come on. And guess what? They find you. They'll look around. I told y'all to come on. Hey, y'all want to come on, get on the bus? And this other parent said, come on, y'all, come on, come on, come on. And they just ignore. The bus leaving, y'all better come on. And they be like, and I be on the bus. Mr. Alexander, I told y'all to come on. I don't know what to tell you. Y'all better stop begging people. Stop begging people to love you. God loves you. Stop begging people to accept you. Stop putting on stuff hoping they recognize something different about you. Stop doing something to yourself to thinking they're going to accept you now. You still you. If they can't love you the way you used to be, they ain't going to love you the way that you are. They going to see you through your transformation. Then they talk about you for whatever got you there. Oh, you know she went and got some hair. I don't care. She got no hair. She look good. You know she went and had some work done. Let her have her work. That's her. Let her do what she want to do. Oh, you know he went there and done got somebody to help him fix himself up. He went to one of them specialists. Well, good. What you went to a specialist, learn how to talk about somebody. They talk about you. They'll talk about you before. They'll talk about you during. They'll talk about you after. And you can be sitting there looking good, done lost all your weight. They're going to talk about how you lost your weight. You're going to sit there and buy you a new house, nice house, living good. Probably was a foreclosure. You know who lived here before? Might have been somebody dead up in that. Man, folk going to talk about you, man. Don't matter what they say. Find you somebody who's going to roll with you through all of it. Through the mayonnaise sandwiches and ketchup sandwiches all the way to the filet mignon. Let them be there with you. That's the person you need. And if they ain't there and you're by yourself, guess what? You're going to be a whole lot happier cutting that steak by yourself than looking at a evil person planting seeds, eating with you, talking about the food you just made. Because they out there. We don't need that type of stuff. So stop letting all these situations defeat you and burden you and hurt you. It's time out for all that. You got stuff to do. And if you let the world burden you, it's going to stop you and going to weigh you down. You have stuff to do. And if you got stuff to do, you got to shed some weight and get to it. Let them people go. Let them situations go. And say, God, I'm going to leave it here. You got the keys, and you can fix it. And if he fix them and they allow God to fix them, guess what? They're going to come and find, hey, you said I told you I had something to do. You better come on. And they'll find you. Trust me. But if they don't, God got them. It's okay. But they don't have to stick you all the time. You don't have to be stuck all the time, because people will hold on to you.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
I'm going to leave you with this. A lot of people in this world are drowning. They are. And it's unfortunate. But, I mean this in the best way possible. And I pray to God you don't misinterpret what I'm saying. A lot of people are drowning, but we are not all lifeguards.
Come on now.
Sometimes your best intentions will get you hurt.
Yes.
You swim out there to help them.
Yes.
And the first thing they do, they pulling you under. And you like, I can't. You're not trained to save everybody. It's a certain technique when you swim out there to save somebody. You got to know them. Yeah, I don't see. Saw one guy punch a guy, knock him out cold. I said, no. He knocked the man out. He said he was trying to drown him. I had to. He was going crazy, and he got him and revived him. I've never seen anything like that before in my life, but he made it make sense. I don't know if he was supposed to do that or not, but he did it. But he was, hey, do what you got to do, I guess. I hope that ain't the way that you're supposed to save people, but, you know, oh, Lord, now I'm drowning and I'm fighting at the same time. But you can go out to save people with the best intentions, and they can really pull you under. They can hurt you. But sometimes the best thing you can do is get the person who is trained and responsible and whose job that is to go and help them. That's what they're there for, right? That's when we bring God. Because sometimes the water a little too deep for you. Sometimes the situation a little too murky. Sometimes the waves are coming a little too hard for what you are prepared for. And they pull you right in that situation with them. And a lot of us has been there. We've been there. But when we let go and let God, and we set the provisions, and we do everything we can do within our power, and we let God go and save them, not only does he save them, but he restores them. Because, see, if I go out and save somebody and bring them back to shore, and if they were laying there limp, I don't know what to do. You know a little CPR, but don't know enough to really, I don't know all the stuff. You know, if I see this or see that. But them lifeguards, man, they get them, and once they get them to the shore, they start working some more, right? That's not, and a lot of times what we're thinking is if we can get this person to shore, they'll be all right. But here's the problem with the people that we save. We can get them to shore, right? They're not that deep. And we'll pull them back to shore, and we say, you all right? They say, yeah. And they jump up and run right back out there.
Yes.
And then we go get them again, and they run right back out there. And we spend all day chasing them, trying to get them. And we'll pray, but we always pray while we say, Lord, and here's how we pray. This is where I want to see the renewal of your mind. We pray more of a selfish prayer. Lord, help me do what I need to do for them. Lord, help me give them what they need, what you want me to do, how you want me to do it. Lord, help them. Be there for them. Lord, touch them in such a way that they know it's you, whether it's through me or not. Because, see, if you pray that prayer, then God chooses whether to use you or not. If he needs you, he will use you. But if you keep putting yourself in there, because that means you gonna do something, and God may be telling you don't do nothing. But you praying a prayer telling him, I'm about to do something. I just need your assistance. So now you've reversed roles with the Lord. You bringing the Lord along instead of him bringing you. You see what I'm saying? You making him your assistant instead of him making you his assistant. And if he chooses to use somebody else other than you, don't you dare be offended. You pray a prayer for him to help them the best way possible. And if he uses you, thank God. If he doesn't, thank God. If he just does it with them alone, thank God. But God has a message for you and a situation for you that is just yours. And a lot of times you have to let go the stuff, and go with him. And thank God.